The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James H.T. Cooley. I am excited about this guest that we got on today. And I tell you what, we got Dr. Mike. You already know what it is. Tuesday, it's 360 degrees of health. But I tell you what I'm going to do, Dr. Mike. I'm going to bring Todd in and get the show started, and we're going to introduce this thing the right way. How you doing, Dr. Cooley?
I am doing fine. You are hyper. Maybe because you're coming home tomorrow.
Hey, Todd, let's put everything together. Let's get everything. Let's get all the platforms locked in.
It's that time. It's your life. Dr. J.C. Cooley.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you what, we got a very exciting show coming your way today. We got this returning guest, and I tell you, every time she comes, she always brings something new, something different. Nature. And I tell you, I'm not going to give it away because Dr. Michelle will beat me up, and I'm not going to give away the title of the show, the purpose of any of that stuff. But I tell you what, my main man, Dr. Michael Mantell. You know what it is, Dr. Mike. Tell him what it is, what day it is. Dr. Mike, I think you're on mute a little bit.
Wait a minute. There we go. Okay. There we
Tell
go.
them what day it is, Dr. Mike.
It's a mute-worthy Tuesday. Tuesday, 360-degree health. And boy, are we going to be covering health 360 degrees today.
Wow, I'm excited. This guest that we got on, I think she's been on the show just a third time. Always bring great news, great inspiration. And as you see, I'm a little hyper because I want to be fed whatever she gonna feed us today. So I'm excited about that. How you doing, Dr. Cooley, back in freezing Texas?
Well, it's warm in the house, but I'm not going outside.
And I tell you, I'm in Atlanta right now, and it's cold. I cannot wait to jump on that plane early in the morning to get back home.
You're gonna be cold again.
San Diego. Come out to San Diego.
Oh man, I would be back there, Dr. Mike, in February because I'm speaking at a couple of events there. So
Nice. Great.
I'm looking forward to getting back. But I'm excited about the show, Michelle. First of all, I want to say KCBQ AM 1170 The Answer. Wow, San Diego, they're here today. AM 660 The Answer. Dallas, Fort Worth, they're here today. We got YouTube, we got LinkedIn, we got Twitter, we got Facebook, we got 360 E360 television, Ramos TV, everybody on board. And I tell you what, we got over 68 platforms. And if you want to be part of today's show with this great guest, okay, I almost gave it away. This great guest, all you have to do is just whichever platform that you're watching us on, go to the comments or pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, call Todd in studio at 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. Michelle, can you do the honors of introducing the purpose of the title of the show, purpose of the show, and this absolutely extraordinary guest that we got?
Oh, most definitely. So the title of today's show, first of all, is 360-degree health. And the title is What I Love About Being on Earth Right Now is... Hey, we're going to let our guests talk about it. And we're welcoming back Monica Eastway. She's an Eco Gerontologist, healing arts professional, educator, and changemaker. She's going to talk about a new year, growing connectedness in 2025, why it's vital to get outside, small actions, big impact from me to we. Wow. So Monica Eastway, I'm going to say it in her own words. I am an Eco Gerontologist, educator, and changemaker, dedicated to empowering individuals and communities to unearth the full health potential of their surroundings. My expertise lies in generating supportive, accessible, and multifunctional outdoor experiences and spaces that enhance quality of life for people of all ages. I have a strong academic foundation, including a Master of Science in Gerontology from the University of Indianapolis and a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and Philosophy from the University of Toledo. And she has over 25 years of experience as a healing arts professional, specializing in massage, sound healing, mindfulness, laughter yoga, play, breath awareness, and aromatherapy. And she's the founder of the Eco Generation Park model. So I'm going to let her tell more. Welcome back to the show, Monica Eastway.
All right. Oh, I love the claps. Woohoo. Hey, yeah, this is called green exercise if you're outside.
Hey, Monica, what Michelle and I are at, I don't know what type of exercise you call this when you go outside, you almost freeze. But I know you up in Big Sur, California. Dr. Mike is in San Diego, California, and you guys are enjoying the weather. You enjoying nature, and I want to introduce our viewers and listeners to what exactly is nature is. Why aren't they out enjoying all of this greatness that the earth has to offer? The minerals, the plants, the food, natural, so we're going to touch bases on all that. But Monica, I got the first question before I turn it over to Dr. Mike. First of all, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me. It's such an honor and a gift to be here. And I just love the show. I love all of you. And I feel so blessed. So I'm doing just fantastic.
One of the things that a lot of people are probably having issues with coming into the new year and actually leaving a tough 2024 is from a mental and a physical perspective where if you don't enjoy life, you don't take it in, you don't get out and enjoy the things that God has planted on earth. Can you start off by telling people why it's so important to sometimes get out, adventure, and wonder for not just for physical exercise, but also mental, the brain?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important, right? It's something so simple yet so profound that we often take for granted, right? Right from the moment you step outdoors, from the human built environment, from our indoor, the walls, essentially, right when you step outdoors, all of a sudden, wherever you are, you have access to this wider world around us, the sky, the clouds, trees, sunlight, the life force, right? The life force that feeds life for all of us, right? And so that moment you get outdoors, and particularly you have awareness and you're intentionally kind of connecting with this life force, it is transformative on so many levels. And it's so, so, so important, just getting to the basics.
Monica, you describe yourself so beautifully as an eco gerontologist, a healing arts professional. I love that term, healing arts professional, an educator, and a change maker. How do those roles intersect to shape your mission?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll go with, gerontology, the study of aging, and aging doesn't start, when we're 60. It's really a lifespan perspective from the moment we're born, even in the womb. And, our interactions with our environments, our social environments, our, the natural environment, throughout our lifespan, what is the best tools and ways of being that enhance our lives throughout our life. And eco gerontology is a new branch in the field. It's a much needed branch. Eco comes from the ancient Greek word okios, which literally means home. Okay, so even economics, economics is the management of home. And so back in the day, think ecology. So when we look at an eco gerontology perspective, we're thinking about home and aging and living. That doesn't just include us humans, but also the health and nurturing the longevity of the trees, the plants, the soil, access to sunlight, all these aspects that we are interdependent on our more of a bioregional perspective for our health and well-being. So it's very exciting, and that connects with the healing arts professional. I've studied, massage and sound and aromatherapy, laughter, very holistic modalities of growing well-beings, so that kind of interconnects with the change making. A lot of our care systems right now are not promoting health and well-being. So it's a shift from, okay, so what do? Well, we got to design a little differently, right? We got to use some different lenses and more of a holistic perception and holistic ways of integrating nature with our health and well-being, because we are at a crossroads right now with that, with our biodiversity crisis and things as well.
I know we have just a moment before we take a break, but look, incorporating nature into your life doesn't require dramatic lifestyle changes. It could be simple. And I want to get into that, James, as we come back to our next segment.
Well, let's get off into that. But I'll tell you what we're going to do right now. We're going to take a station break. And I'll tell you, as you see, we are all excited. You can see the energy coming from Monica already. And Dr. Mike hadn't even got started yet, but I can tell you, I can show you 100% certainly that he's getting ready to get started. So I'll tell you what, if you want to be part of the conversation, regardless of which platform that you might be watching us on, Just go to the comments if you're watching us on the platform, ask any question that you might, or pick up the phone. Whether you or listen on KCBQ AM 1170, The Answer in San Diego, or K-Sky AM 660, The Answer in Dallas. That's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. All right.
Noah Dingley here, producer of the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
To adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Now hear this.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, on Tuesday we got my main man, Dr. Michael Mantell, and you know what? He has done it again. I mean, he brought another absolutely fantastic guest, and she's been on before, but you know what? Every time she comes on the show, she brings new life, new energy, new wisdom, new understanding, because I call her the explorer. She is the explorer, and we can really get off into that one. If you want to be part of the conversation, as you already know, AM 660 and Dallas, AM 1170 in San Diego, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, and over 6 to 8 live platforms. Join us. And if you want to make it easy, just pick up the phone and call Todd in the studio at 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. Dr. Mike, you got it.
Yeah, okay. So as I was saying right before the break, incorporating nature doesn't require drastic lifestyle changes. Simple things like taking a walk outside in the park if there's one nearby, gardening if you can, bringing plants indoors into your home. These small steps can yield tremendous benefits. I want to present 6 areas that I believe nature can really be a tremendous benefit to us. And the first is stress, in terms of reducing stress and enhancing our mental well-being. Talk a little bit about how nature can help us with that.
Yeah, just think, everybody listening and watching, just think for a moment how you do feel, like right the moment your feet hit the sand at a beach, or, you're in a forest and these things, right away, like how do you feel, right? It's like, like it's almost instant. And they've actually found, studies have shown that any kind of outdoor walk instantly within the first 5 minutes provides psychological relief, right? It's
And
pretty
lowers
extraordinary.
cholesterol.
It
It
lowers
actually
your cholesterol too.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because all of a
I'm
sudden your
sorry,
brain,
excuse me. I said cholesterol. I meant cortisol. I don't mean
yeah,
cholesterol.
but it
It
can.
may
They
it
have
may
found
be.
studies that correlate nature exposure to lowering cholesterol. You are
Okay, there
correct
you
on
go.
that.
I meant cortisol for stress. It
Yeah.
reduces our stress.
Cortisol, and it boosts up the serotonin, the feel good hormones. They start flowing through the dopamine, right? The endorphins, any pain that you might have had, like, oh, I've got to go outside, but my knee hurts a little bit, but put the shoes on, go out, and right within that first 5 minutes, you might be like, oh, it's not so painful anymore, because you start noticing the birds or the trees, the sunlight, and you start moving. And they found people that walk outdoors, they even move a little faster and feel less exertion, right? That's just an overview of a lot of the benefits there.
But what about our physical well-being? You talk about shoes, but there's studies that say contact with soil microbes and
Yeah.
fresh air strengthens our immune system,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
really right now.
Yeah.
Talk about
Yeah.
how nature can help us, our physical well-being.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Microbacterium vaccae, it's this bacterium that they found in nutrient-rich soil in particular that boosts our immune system. It produces that happy brain chemical flow, like you just said. And particularly with what's called grounding or earthing, getting outdoors in your yard or wherever you are, take your shoes off, even a few, 5-10 minutes, and just breathe, come over your breath, and connect, like get rooted. It's profoundly effective for growing your connection, if you're and boosting your creativity, joy, generosity, empathy, because you're connecting to something larger than yourself, planet Earth.
Let's talk about the third area, our cognitive functioning.
Yeah.
Mentioned focusing and creative thinking, memory benefits. What about our cognitive function? How does nature elevate our cognitive functioning?
Right. And I think, there's so many ways that's happening. And also, they found that when you are outdoors and you're connecting, you're noticing the trees and the birds, your sense of self gets smaller. So when we feel smaller and our world around us gets larger, like our problems, our stress levels, those go down, but at the same time you're filled with more attention, you're more able to focus better, you have more clarity, creative ideas start flowing. It's a lot to do with that, connecting to the larger world around us outside and getting out of our heads and into the wider world.
I know you talk a lot about connection, and nature nurtures a sense of belonging to this beautiful world, connection to this world, and can reduce feelings of isolation.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about how nature strengthens connection and well-being.
Absolutely. If it's all right, I might share with you. I have a couple quotes from some research studies on adults over 60 and their sensory experiences of the natural world. And it really sums up a lot of what we're talking about experientially. Here's one here. These walks have opened my eyes about the beauty that surrounds me and puts my problems and fears into a perspective that is easier to live with. I think it brings you back to nature and makes you realize there is more to life. Even just sitting, watching the flowers, looking at the flowers, the different colors, the different shapes of the petals, and all that, I could spend the ages. I sit out there and there's an olive tree in the garden, and I prefer to sit outside. It's not so lonely being outside in the open. You can hear the birds. Not so lonely as always being by yourself inside. These are
Wow.
some quotes from some research studies on the sensory experiences of nature for older adults, people living in residential care communities and aging in place in their homes as well. So this lens, as you can see, is so important for our in-home carers and neighbors, and checking in on your neighbor that might be older that, know isn't getting outside as much, in this awareness, because back to that connectedness, it's not just our human to human connections that are paramount for our well-being and our sense of connectedness to our world, but the trees and a bird and the flowers, and even noticing the clouds. And there's a lot of studies on that people that have these higher levels of nature connectedness, have opportunities to connect with the natural world, are less lonely, less anxious, have less feelings of isolation, and that's virtually for all ages.
I
Wow.
got a question though.
Yeah.
With that, I mean, you just summed this all up. Just like I said, people that are in the city pretty much, they don't know anything about, they call it the country or relaxing. But I grew up in that type of environment on the farm back in Graham, Alabama. And you just mentioned about loneliness. I believe that there is a major issue today, not just for the elderly, but for people in general, because the lack of explorerness, the lack of, wanting to get out there and experience nature. Can you give some of our listeners some advice on why it's so important to just sometime release your mind and let nature lead you?
Yeah, I just love that. And it's so important, right? Like this sense of exploration and discovery and curiosity of our world. And I call it, it's part of my 5 A's framework, right? Right away starts with awareness. Get outside wherever I lived in East Cleveland. I've lived in cities. I'm from a tiny town in northern Michigan. I can tell you, right when you get outside, you can start connecting, but you got to become aware. Come with your breath. Use what we call the green care code. Stop, look, notice nature. Notice the world around you, and then guaranteed you might notice something you've never noticed before, whether it's the pattern on a tree or a cloud above, and you're going to start feeling a sense of awe. And there's a lot of science on awe, right? That feeling of researchers define awe as a positive emotion people feel when they're in the presence of something vast they cannot immediately understand. And how important, Dr. Cooley, that you mentioned experiences of awe are for cultures, for innovation, right? It's like you feel like, oh, wow, look at that sunset, or wow, look at that bird, or I just noticed this, and all of a sudden that inspires wonderment, curiosity, wanting to learn more, wanting to connect more, right? And activating that gratitude, appreciation as well, activating connection and care. So I think I love how you mentioned that for all ages, in our youth and kids today have a lot of anxiety. They have a lot of loneliness, and, connecting them, helping rebuild their relationship with the natural world. And farming is a great way. There's some great, green movements happening in urban areas with urban farming and green schoolyards, and then connecting them with the elders that are living in the care communities, right? So we're starting to see a little bit more of that. That's what my work with Care Outdoors is all about. And you probably remember that on the farm, right? You're never lonely on the farm.
There's two other areas that I want to cover real quickly that are so important for our overall well-being and health, and that is sleep. Nature helps us with sleep because it gives us exposure to natural light, which regulates our sleep wake cycles. Talk a little bit about how important nature can be to our sleep.
Yeah, that's such a good point, right? Sunlight. A lot of us have vitamin D deficiencies, including kids. Myopia is now an epidemic for kids because they're not getting enough sunlight. Of course, they have sleep problems, all these things, because we need that vitamin D, that circadian rhythms, they say, because we are nature. At the end of the day, we're part of the trees and the plants. We also have a rhythm that goes with the environmental cycle of the moon cycles, the sun. The sun rises, where we're going to wake up, and then as the sun's setting, we get a little sleepier. But if you're not getting that sunlight, you're not connected to these natural rhythms of of life, of all living beings on our shared home. So it is so important, even if it's cold, get out, try to get at least 10 minutes of natural sunlight, direct light in the early morning, preferably, or in the afternoon, at lunchtime or whatever. But, even 20 degrees, the Norwegians say, there's no bad weather, just bad clothing. So we have tools, put on your clothes, your coat and your scarf and hat, whatever, and say, okay, once you get out, 10 minutes, get that sunlight, get some of that. Now, even if it's cloudy, you can still get some of that vitamin D. It's really important. And then get back inside. And the Norwegians say that's when you enjoy what they call koslig, K-O-S-L-I-G, which is comfort and warmth in the indoors, which is more enjoyable after you've been in the cold outdoors.
Fantastic. You're muted. Dr. JC, you're muted.
Oh, hold that thought. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's muted Tuesday, but I'll hold that thought because we got to take a station break. But I tell you what, when we get back, I want you to continue that thought. And Dr. Mike got another question that he was asking. But if you want to be part of the conversation, whichever platform that you're watching us on, go to the comments, ask any questions. Or if you listen to us on any other platform, Radio KCBQ, AM 1170 Answer, San Diego, AM 660, The Answer in Dallas, iHeartRadio, Spotify. All you do is pick up the phone, dial 1-888-344-1170. Let me slow that down. 1-888-344-1170. It's your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
JC Cooley.
Craving a slice of Chicago right here in Temecula.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
Listen up. It's Dr. J.C. Cooley. Yeah. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life.
That their current situation is not their final destination. Country Boy, City Boy, a journey that ain't over yet, is the unfiltered truth to provide hope for the future by challenging you to refuse to become a victim of life's circumstance and dare to become an overcomer because a bigger, better, and more impactful life awaits you. Get the new audio version of his book, Country Boy, City Boy, a journey that ain't over yet, by Dr. James Cooley, on Amazon or wherever books are sold.
It's your life.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, and I'm so intrigued with this conversation. that we're having with Monica Eastwood. But I tell you, I am even more intrigued how you can tell the enthusiasm in her as she explains the nature. She explains what she loved doing. She explains her what type of value and benefits that we can get out of just sometime opening up our mind. And I know Dr. Mike, you asked the question, and we all got locked into that one. I don't know if we was able to complete that one, but you had another one as well. So I'm gonna turn it back over to you, Doc.
The last area that I think nature can really make a difference in is in terms of giving us a sense of balance and a balance in life. And by that, we talk a little bit about back to connection. So just talk about, how does nature help us balance ourselves and our lives?
Oh, I love that balance. That's something that many of en masse we're not doing so well.
No.
One of the things, you think about, when you're out in nature, when you're observing nature, when you're connecting with the natural world, the grand scheme of how everything's working together, everything's interconnected in nature. Nature doesn't segregate, right?
Right.
And it's a slower pace. Right. So immediately, that's one thing in the research, and also in my work with Care Outdoors, people report on right away, like when they start engaging more, it was hard for me to slow down, they say. But then as they start doing it more and enjoying we call them sit spots, just sitting outdoors for a few moments and really slowing down intentionally, your body's responding. And then the more you do that, and watching how nature is, it is a much slower pace. It's a more tranquil pace and being in our world. And then that slowly starts to infiltrate to other aspects of our lives. There's a movement now for the shorter work weeks, and people are just as productive, right? Because we need moments throughout our days to just be, just sit, enjoy, breathe. Go, all doing all the time isn't really productive in the long run, right? So that's part of that balance, and maintaining our balance in our lives, and enjoyment, and our social activities and things, and in balance with our work lives as well. I don't know if that captures what you're going with here, but yeah.
I have two other questions. People live with excuses why they can't. And in my work, I help people challenge their own thinking so they can see there's no barrier except for the one that they've put up.
Yeah.
What about, we were talking earlier, we were all raised in cities. I was raised in Newark, New Jersey, when I was a youngster. And I remember snow days, looking out the window and just watching the snow and loving the way that looked.
Yeah.
Can you share some practical ways to incorporate nature into the daily life of people who live in urban environments?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love what you just mentioned, the window view, right? There's a lot of power in the window view, particularly if you're looking out the window. That goes back to studies back in the 1980s with the Kaplans that found that office workers that had a window view enjoyed their job more, they had a higher quality of life, and then this led to attention restoration theory and all these things. But absolutely, the average American is spending, and same with the average Australian and the people in England as well, roughly upwards of 90% plus of their time indoors, which this is a fairly new thing since the Industrial Revolution and things, because back in the day, for thousands of years, that was opposite, right? We were spending most of our time out. That's what our rhythms are set up to, so really being intentional about that. It really does start with the awareness and being like, okay, we don't do smoke breaks anymore, right? But how about take that vitamin N, that vitamin nature, that vitamin O outdoors break, hey, put it on your calendar, like moments where, okay, I'm just going to get outside in all weather, unless it's like, 15 below or there's a fire, obviously, but really being intentional and get outside, do a quick little walk around, notice nature. when you are in the parking lot from to the grocery store, you can do a little mini all walk on your, and I do guided all walks now in grocery store parking lots, because these barriers we think of, perceived barriers, can be easily removed. And once you start doing, you go, wow, I feel better. Wow, I actually enjoyed the walk from my car. I parked far away at the grocery store, or picking up my kids from school or whatever, and we enjoyed the walk, and we noticed the clouds and that happy brain chemical flow again. And normalizing this is part of my day. This is part of what I'm doing for my well-being, but also the well-being of our shared home. Because when we're caring for ourselves, we're caring for nature. It's a reciprocity.
So, Monica, let me ask you this question. Is it nature? In other words, someone's coming out of a supermarket and they're rushing to their car. Yet there's beautiful green trees and the wind, and it looks beautiful. So is it nature, or is it that they're not using their mind? They're not thinking about nature in a way to begin with to help them embrace nature.
Yeah, you hit it on the ball right there. Exactly. That's a bullseye right there, right? It's an awareness. So for a lot of people, unfortunately, the natural world is a backdrop in our lives, like a movie set. You're kind of in your human head all the time. You're going from point A to B. But once you get out of that and a more eco-centric, right, I'm connected to this wonderful world around me, and start really intentionally noticing, okay, I'm going to notice, I'm going to look up at the sky, I'm going to look over here and connect. It's a game changer. And it is a mindset. And once you start doing that, like we say in my all walk groups, once an all walker, always an all walker. Once you start, becoming aware, take the earbuds out, listen to the birds for a minute, really start noticing that it does start with that. Nature, what is I love this quote. The world is full of magic things, patiently awaiting for our senses to grow sharper.
Beautiful.
William Butler Yeats, right?
Yes,
right here, our senses to grow, waking up. What do you smell? What do you see? And that's why, outdoors and playing outdoors for kids is so important, and they're lacking. I read this morning that the average American child is spending about 4 to 6 minutes of free playtime outdoors a day, and 7 hours a day on their screens.
Right. I mean, the link is what you think. The title
link is what you think. That's it.
Think is what you think. So you can be in beautiful at the beach, and oh my God, it's so beautiful. Look at the waves, and you could just be ignoring it.
Yeah,
so it really starts with the way we psychologically put ourselves together and what we tell ourselves. This is so important. So someone could be listening to this and going like, yeah, but I don't have time. Yeah, it's beautiful out there, but I mean, I don't have that view. She does. I'm not in Big Sur. Like I'm in Detroit or whatever it might be. And so I think that what we're saying to people is we're inviting you, take a breath, slow down for a moment, and tell yourself that is healing. Medicine, supplements, maybe, but that tree, watching the leaves move, that's healing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. 1000%. And I'll just add, a lot of research out of the Nature Connectedness research group. And, there are people, you can live in a very nature-rich biodiverse area and have very low levels of nature connectedness. Because
hold that thought. Hey, Monica, hold that thought. You got to take a station break.
Okay.
But we're going to come back. We're going to pick it up. This is interesting. And I'm loving this. And I tell you what, it's not too late to become part of the conversation. 1-888-344-1170 again. That's 1-888-344-1170. Nancy, San Diego, Atlanta, Dallas, Fort Worth, and whichever other platforms you're watching it on. We'll see you shortly after the break.
That's right. James JC Cooley.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley. featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many Black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many Black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
The JC.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do. If you can see it here, you can do it. You might not be able to see it with the physical eyes, but if you can see it here, you can do it. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot do it. You all are the future leaders of tomorrow. I am a leader. I am a senior. I will be one of the leaders of this world. So, if you know yourself, and if you love yourself, you got the confidence, you can share yourself. You can be who you are. It doesn't matter if you short, tall, fat, big, whatever, black, white, pink, gold, purple. It doesn't matter. You step up with confidence. You are a masterpiece. You are leaders.
J.C. Cooley.
Hello, welcome back. Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I look forward to 360 degree health. I tell you what, look forward to it. Sometimes dream about it because I know it's going to be a great show. And with my main man, my mentor, Dr. Michael Mantell, he always hit a home run. I mean, I don't even have to sit back and worry about us having a guest that's not like Monica. I'm sorry, Monica. I didn't mean to put that in like that. But it's extraordinary, and what you're talking about is extraordinary. And what life is extraordinary if we give ourselves an opportunity to go out and live it and enjoy nature, enjoy the things around. We can't be mean mugging over everything. I'm mad at everything. Get out there, take a deep breath, go on a walk, go on a journey. Call Monica. And this is extraordinary. Hey, Todd, what are your thoughts so far, man?
Oh, great show. I can see why you had her back on as a guest. I love it.
She will be back, Todd, if she allows us. She'll be back. So I want to, hey, Dr. Cooley, how you doing? Have you been listening to the show? Do you have a question? What?
Well, I guess I'm more of a question. It's more of a comment about, I've always, and I told this James this one time, I always have this dream or fantasy about like being on like a Gilligan's Island or something. No phones, no TVs, no nothing. Just enjoying the air and just enjoying nature. And you'd be surprised how you can think clearer when you're outside and you are just enjoying nature, whether you're sitting in a park or anything like that. It doesn't have to be an extravagant vacation, but just being outside and enjoying the air. And Monica's jamming. She's just like moving.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned the fresh air, because that with my work with Care Outdoors, it's really normalizing Care Outdoors as a basic form of care, as important as food, water, shelter, and fresh air, something we might take for granted, right? And fresh air, it's a multi-sensory experience. Like right when you get outside, like you just mentioned, you can think clearer. There's aromas, there's smells in the air. You feel the light breeze on your face, and a lot of people, particularly in the research, older adults, people living with dementia, disabilities, that's one thing they mention most often is when they get outside, they just are so happy to experience the fresh air and how important that is to your connection to space in this wider world, right? And fresh air and space connects to freedom, that sense of feeling free and open.
Monica, talk about your project that you're working on, the Caring Outdoor Project. Tell us about that.
The Care Outdoors program. Absolutely. I love education and continuing education. And I found a gap in right now with training carers, executives, anybody that works with, older adults, younger adults on, what are green care approaches? What's the science with getting outside in nature? And also, how does it, really experiencing it themselves? Part of my program is the Care Outdoors program. It is approved for CEUs. You get a credential. It's a lot of experiential learning, right? Because once you start experiencing it, you can read all the science, but once you start actively, okay, I've got to be in my sit spot 10 minutes a day. I got to take at least 2 15-minute walks and report and reflect on it. There's a lot of reflections. You're going to start integrating it already to your own life, because it's more of not just a way of care, it becomes a way of our lives. It infiltrates in the way we design care, the way we prioritize well-being. It's not just the food is coming from nutrient-rich soil, right? How all of this is connected. So yeah, the Care Outdoors program. And I had my first public cohort that started in the 3rd week of November, and I attracted a diverse group of people from retirement age to 30s from, across the United States, Texas, California, Illinois, Wisconsin, Alabama, South Carolina, and also someone from Australia. And it's been awesome because it's attracting people into it instinctually. We know we're nature. We just have lost. We need to reconnecting to that. So I'm really excited to keep growing the program and keep sharing and nurturing each other's little impacts we can make together across the globe for all ages, right? And particularly like with our youth too. In our
how can we get in touch with you? People want to become a part of this program all around the world who are listening right now.
Yeah, absolutely. MonicaEastway.com. Just come to my website. You'll see my courses link and tap in there. And I would love to have you. It's amazing. The title of this show, what I love about being on Earth right now is, and if I could share just real quick, how this came to my being is, I'm a lifelong learner. I'm addicted to education, and I'm currently got a scholarship, and I'm working on my permaculture design credential. So once a month, I'm up in Northern California at a farm. I'm in farm school, so I'm learning how to farm and grow food, and I'm connecting with all these people. And we had a presentation. It was all outdoors by a woman she's a renegade economist, eco economist, and we stand in circle. And the question was, everybody got around to share. We're outside, the sunlight. We're on this amazing regenerative farm. What I love about being on Earth right now is,
wow,
so powerful. Wherever we are, your meetings, you're working with kids, bring this up. What I finish this sentence, what I love about being on Earth right now is, and I can say right now, I love being here with you and the connections that we're making.
Monica Eastway,
.com. Yeah.
You drive people to that, get more information, live a better life outdoors.
Yeah. Connected to each other in the wider world.
You know what? I tell you what, we down to the last. Wow. I guess we lost some minutes. So I want to thank you so much and inviting you back, Dr. Mike. Always a pleasure, Dr. Cooley. Thanks so much for putting together a great show. I tell you what, we'll be back tomorrow at the same time, same place. Always, always, always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. It's your life. And we'll see you.
Come on. It's your life. Let's go. Dr. James.